Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in today for another lovely episode here with the Aquarium project. Not too much exciting stuff's been going on recently, just kind of been doing our thing, which is good, but means I have no news for you, so that's a bit awkward. But yeah, just before we get going, I just wanted to ask, if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff that really helps the channel out. We are getting quite close to the 1,000 subscriber threshold, which is quite exciting. Something I'm quite looking forward to, and I think it's pretty crazy how many of you lovely people there are. So yeah, if you haven't already, like and subscribe would be good, but aside from that, let's get into the main topic for today's video, shall we? So for the topic for today's video, I wanted to do a bit of an update on this. This is our kind of narrow low boy type shell dweller aquarium. So this has got their Neolampologus brevis in it. These guys are still pretty small. They were bred actually here just across the aisle, which I'll show you their parents after. But yeah, this is the brevis. So we've got 3 of them in here. I did end up selling some of them, some of the fry we had, but I did keep these 3. And the plan is I'm going to get some more from the next spawn and keep them in here longer term. Oh, there's the other one. That's so random. Look at it. Focus. There he is. He's made a little house in this little cave, so how random. But yeah, so I wanted to give a bit of an update because I think this is, even though it's not maybe the flashiest aquarium we have in the store, it is a really fantastic aquarium because I think it is so approachable, one that kind of everyone can replicate very easily. So I'll give you guys a quick little run through of the setup, and then we can kind of talk about some of the changes that we've had. So it's got the aragonite substrate, which is the sand looking stuff here. This is marine aragonite, so it's like buffering up the pH and all that kind of thing. But yeah, we've got the aragonite. We've got these bits of coral rock that's got this Java fern fixed to it. Then in this corner we've got the what's it called? Cryptocoroni crispatula, which is like the kind of taller, more narrow leaf type crypt. It's quite similar to Balancy, I think, but word on the street is that it does far better in the higher pHs. This stuff actually I bought from the first lot of tissue culture that came into New Zealand and converted it in our... It got converted in our CO2 cherry barb tank, then it went to a tank at home for a little bit, and now it's here, and this is where I want it to stay. I did chuck some root tabs in, the JBL, I don't know how to pronounce it, Croylin or whatever. I chopped them in half though because it was way too big, so I put like 1/2 like there and then 1/2 like there. But yeah, and then that's basically it. Running a Aquaclear filter, Aquaclear hang on the back, and Eheim heater. But yeah, that's and this is Aqua One Strip Glow tropical light. So yeah, that's basically the setup. But I just thought I'd run through this little tank because I want to be a bit clear about something. So a lot of times on YouTube, when you go into shops, all that kind of thing, you'll see these perfectly manicured tanks, and this, as you can see, is not well manicured or anything. It's got all this like hair algae growing through the coral rock kind of, I don't know, what would you call that, structure, I guess. And as you can see, there's bits of the, what is this called, cyanobacteria. I find shell dweller aquariums and Tanganyikan aquariums in general tend to get way worse cyano outbreaks. I believe it comes from the substrate, just like the lack of flow through it and the higher silicates and everything. But I've never actually really looked that deep into it, I'm not gonna lie, but I believe that's the thing. So with all these aquariums, when you first set it up, it does take a while for everything to mature. For the little microalgae, the microflora, the microfauna, flora and fauna, the little bits of plant and everything to even out, for the silicates to go down, for like all this stuff, for basically for the aquarium to settle. And at this point here, like this point right where it is, maybe when it had a little bit more cyano, I cleared out a bunch of cyano on the weekend because I did a water change on the weekend and I manually remove it when it's water change day. But a lot of people at this stage will be like, oh no, it's all all going to help. And you'll start throwing in like your API algae fixes, your flourish excels. You'll be draining it and filling it and draining it and filling it and like cleaning out all your filter media and all that. And that's fine, but it is a much more stressful, much more kind of higher risk version. There is a lot of, you know, stories out there of API algae fix killing a tank of fish, and that's obviously not what we want. So kind of the method that I use to deal with it is like, I just roll with it because it will go away in time. I do manually remove it where possible, so like I'll suck it out with the siphon, you know, pick it off the plants, but that's about it. The only other thing is increased flow tends to knock out cyano quite well, so I will put the flow quite high, like, you know, be it from the filter or get a power head, get an air stone, but that's about it. I wouldn't stress too much. Even if you don't intervene and just like manually remove it when you're doing your water changes, it will go away in time. It might take a little bit of time, but it will go away and it will get more manageable. So it's kind of one of those new tank things that you just have to ride out. A lot of the times you'll see reef keepers talking about it, where they say like, oh, it's the ugly tank phase and that, but that's not quite something that we really talk about in the freshwater side of things. And I think it is a real shame, because the idea still holds true. You do kind of have to wait a little bit for the aquarium to settle, for it to really come into its own. And that's kind of the stage that we're in now with this aquarium. Like, it's not, you know, it's been up and running for a couple months, it's fully cycled and everything, but in terms of the aesthetics, it's not quite there yet. But it will get there, it won't take too long. So yeah, I've just been doing like maybe 40-50% water change once or twice a week. And that's about it. These guys have been feeding on baby brine shrimp, a little bit of rapashi grub pie, and microworms as well. So nothing too crazy. I could feed them other stuff, but that's kind of just what I use in the shop anyway. So these guys kind of just get a bit. They do get the odd bit of flake and everything, but that's enough to kind of keep them happy without causing me any extra stress. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is how to make it a little bit easier, a bit more manageable, and maybe talk about this ugly tank, new tank kind of phase that we do get in the start, but it does subside. We just have to be patient and kind of ride it out. I did say we'll quickly check in on this tank. So this is the adult pair. They're in there and they'll be on eggs at the moment, but obviously there's not much to see. And actually this tank is going through some algae. This one's not so much to do with new tank, more as kind of to do with neglect. I leave the light on way too long and like all this stuff. Obviously I maintain the fish health and everything, but maybe aesthetically it's not the nicest, because that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to maintain the best kind of breeding environment, and I do like keeping around all this little filament algae and stuff, because it's for the fish to nibble on. There is a little touch of cyano there, but we have gone past the cyano for the most part. Now it's just kind of like assorted crud flowing around basically. But yeah, that's where the adults are, and so I'll take them out, the fry out of there, and chuck them over here when they're big enough to do their thing, and they can kind of just sit around in this happy little Brevis tank that I got here. So yeah, that's basically all I had for you guys today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Send it to your friend. Anything you can do to help out the channel will be greatly appreciated. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!